Hi guys, welcome to Mark Teaches Music. I'm Mark, and excuse me. This is my YouTube channel, Mark Teaches Music, and this is our Improv Workshop. And I'm glad you're here. And this sounds awfully tinny to me. It's tinny to rock or rhyme to rock or rhyme. It's right on time. It's tinny, 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 tinny. Okay, reference. Check. Not quite that much. Check. Okay. So cool. So I'm glad y'all are here. And so we have this improv workshop every Tuesday at 7:45. It's not supposed to be an hour, but it is about an hour. And today is the 14th day of August, 2023. Really? Yeah, no, 15th day. This is the 15th day of August. Sorry about that. 15th day of August. And I want you to have fun and be awesome. That is the trademarked theme of both Promethean Studios, my lessons company, and this live stream. And in our live stream, we're trying to learn how to get better at improvising and ad-libbing, making up great melodies. And I know that you can do that. And if you... it's interesting how that when we're compare ourselves to great players and stuff, it's like we're like, oh, we got to play faster, got to play higher, got to play harder. But then if you listen to a truly great player, a lot of times they're playing really slow stuff that anybody could play. And I'm not saying that we need to focus on that, so to speak, but we also don't need to ignore it. And we can take advantage of that as we're learning to play better, and that includes me. So if you're interested in taking lessons, go to www.dallasmusiclessons.com, and there's information there about me and about lessons and music and stuff, and so you can check that out and email me if you like about lessons. And if you obviously now you need to send your stuff into the chat, and you need to be chatty in the chat, and then let's turn this. I'm mostly trying to remember this when I play the flute later on. Check. I want to have some reverb on there because it sounds good. But if you're watching this after the live stream, send me an email if you have any questions about anything. Send me an email at mark@dallasmusiclessons.com, and that'll work. So we're not just ad-libbing here. I'm going to try to say things as they come up to me, both in my own playing. I can't hear you. I wish I could. Nobody can hear you, so you're safe to go for it. But as I think of things, and sometimes I've written a few things down. Sometimes if I get a chance to ad lib on these things before we go live. So we're trying to learn. So we'll play some, then I'll say something, and hopefully it'll be useful. And if you got a request for a style or me to ad lib an instrument I haven't improvised on or anything, just send me an email or drop it in the comments. So the idea is that I personally am very interested in many different styles, and so we do a lot of different styles. And so don't turn your nose up at a different style that you're not interested in. For example, today we're going to do like kind of a rocky, like I said, or kind of a rock ballad, or maybe it's titled something like soulful ballad or something like that, but it's like rock. And then the second thing is really very East Asian, Southeast Asia, and I called it Bollywood Blues. It sounds a lot like that to me. And so I'm just saying, when you hear a style, if you don't like it, or it doesn't maybe difficult to do with your instrument, or doesn't flow, just jump on there and try to make such a great solo, such an interesting, thoughtful set of sounds that you did that it's like, wow, it made it work. So you can just let me know, though, if you want me to change styles or anything like that, or hey, I haven't heard you do anything like so-and-so. I haven't heard you do, we haven't done any Zydeco yet. We haven't done any Mongolian, Mongolia throat singing, and if you like this, you need to hit subscribe. You need to like it. You need to subscribe to it. You need to click the bell for notifications, and you need to please invite other people and share these links and get them to come and get people to come, and that's what it needs to be. And the links for the charts, both, so we have the charts, we have that is the, here's the chords for this song. We have the chords for the song. We have the keys. If this song's in D, then I got the notes written out for D. For C instruments, B flat instruments, E flat instruments, I have the on this. I'm saying you have this link to get to this, to the pattern if you're playing the guitar, pattern if you're playing the bass. So there's a lot of if you don't know nothing, there's a lot of things provided for you here that you can use, so you can improvise with us and play along. So don't just sit there when it's your turn to improvise. Jump right in, and I think you may feel like you need to sit out for 2 or 3 or 4 times or something, back and forth, or going back and forth, but don't do it much. It's better to get in there and make some sounds and make some mistakes and go like, oh, that sounded dumb, and then you can wait while I'm playing, and then, by the way, when I'm playing, don't play. Think about what you're going to do. Maybe something I did was inspiring or interesting, or whatever, and so jump in there and do that. And then, if you got questions, like you're saying, Mark, you're saying this is in E flat and here are the notes, but they aren't working, then, send me a question. Hey, TDB, send me the question, this isn't working, or that was awesome, or I'm talking about, you did something awesome, or, how should I pick this, or, whatever. So don't wait, so we can get an answer and you can get going. And, then it's also just when you play a different instrument than you're used to, different things don't work. So your same little licks don't work on the flute. Your same little licks don't work on the bass that worked on the guitar. So playing different instruments, just by the way, gives lots of people lots of inspiration to get different sounds, different ways to play. So, and then when you're doing any kind of improvising, I just want to say that you need to listen to the song and get the feel of the song, both where it changes, how fast it is, the groove, these various things that make your playing. If you got to match those things. Now you can look at the chart, and the chart will say this is a B flat, then it goes to E flat, then it goes to C minor, then it goes to F, like that, and that's great. And and a few of you, including me and the you, a few of you are in the situation where you're reading all the time, and you don't need to have to wait to hear the song to start improvising, and that's just fine. But the number of people that actually need to do that are really quite small. Let's say 2% of all musicians. Most musicians that are good have plenty of time to just listen to the song. Most people are playing songs because they like the song. That is, I heard this song and I like it. I want to play with it. So all I'm saying is dig into that sound, Mo, so that you're like, wow, I know here comes that F chord, here comes that G chord, or here comes that change. I don't know what it is. It just changes here. So that's going to help you a lot, that you're playing and you're aiming for that place where it changes. Now, and if this is too hard, what we're ad-libbing to, go back. There's 4, I think this is the 44th one, and there's 2 songs on each one, so there's 88 songs. Some of them are just in one key. Many of them don't even change keys. Our songs tonight change keys a little bit, like for a measure or 2. And then, by the way, singing, I don't care that you're not a singer. Truly, I don't. If you're not a singer, that is okay. Singing is more directly connected to you and what you do than your instrument. It's a long way between your brain or your heart out to your fingers, and then you're listening and like that, and it's real close. And I'm not talking about physical, but I'm talking about ease of the interface between your brain or your heart and your voice is a lot closer. So if you sing horrible, that's still fine. We're not talking about how you sing, but I'm saying you can use your voice to prime the pump, to give you some hints of what you could do. Just like you listen to somebody else, you can listen to, hey, let me sing some. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to do this in both songs, and I'm trying to do it everything. So our first song, let's listen to our first song. Is that the right? Yes, this is the right song, but is that the right? There you go. Check this out. change. Changes. Now, really, our name is Bollywood Blues. It really is pretty much like a Bollywood blues, a blues from Bollywood. Yes. I think it's pretty cute. Okay. So you feel that? The groove? Okay. Now what I was talking about as far as the singing, I'm saying if I was trying to sing, I'm trying to get something to play, I'm going ba 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 da 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 da. So I'll try to find that on my instrument, on my instrument, on my instrument. Then I try to find that. If I like that. So if you liked how that sounded, I'm talking about something that you do, that you just sing a few notes or 10 notes. If you like how it sounded, that, if you like, say, wow, that was pretty cool, you know? It just came out of me. And let's say you sounded like this. You sounded like this. You went, you know, wasn't that great vocally, but that's okay. We're not interested exactly in how your voice sounds, so to speak. What we're interested in is what's probably more important, I guess is the way I should say it, is that you're feeding yourself ideas. You're giving yourself ideas. So this would work, you know. So that is. I'm having a little technical difficulty trying to fix my technical difficulty right here now. Look at that. There we go. Oh, that's not working at all. Wow. Well, I can't fix it. So here I'm fixing it from letting you see. I want you to see the chart. Let's get the chart going. Let's get the chart going. That is completely the wrong thing. I'm trying to share this picture. And I would like to say that if I was a famous person, everybody would be really patient. So be patient with me. Okay, so I'm changing. There we go. So there's the chart. Here's our little Bollywood Blues in C. And that's it. Now this is basically a C minor blues. Now there's a lot of things we can do in the chart here, and I'm going to be playing the flute. Most blues can go back and forth, major and minor. This blues kind of, if we conceive of this as a blues, this is sort of focused on C minor, this sound. Oh, let's turn that down. I got this one from my voice. And I know it's not on yet. There we go. So that's for my voice, and this can be for the flute. Let me turn it down. I'm going to do this. Blues scale, pentatonic scale. Bring that down a little bit. Check, checkity, check, 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 check. Okay, trying to get this one loud, this one softer. And let's put a little bit more reverb on there. Sounds like a tabla drum. Okay, so anyway, there we go. So if we, and on your sheet now, here is, instead of a five, here a pentatonic is a 5-note scale. You got this. Here it is as a blues scale with an extra note. And here it is as a 7-note scale. And let's go with Dorian minor, which is what the sheet you have. It says C Dorian minor. That's if we're going to use 7 notes. That would be this sound. Okay. I'm trying to not be in this mic. Let me turn this one off for a second. If you got reverb, man. Turn it on. Okay, so let's do this, and let's just start. And so I'm saying you got C minor pentatonic, 5 notes. C minor blues, 6 notes. C Dorian minor, 7 notes. Same notes as the B flat major scale. I do not like the way that looks. Let's get that more. There we go. That's better. There we go. That'll work. Okay, let's get started. Let's get it started in here. Okay, here we go. Hey, Jeffrey. Here we go. Let's see. I'm going to check see if it's loud enough. Looks okay. Y'all tell me if it's not loud enough. I'm going to play a flute. Okay, your turn. Go. That's the 4 chord, the F chord. Keep going. Is that the beginning? C. That's your anchor tone. Be a little boring if you just stayed on it, but it's the most secure sounding note. Going to do it again for another 4 measures. You're listening. What's anticipating? Another 4 measures. Here it goes to the 4 chord. Now, ba. Now you don't have to play the F, but that's the most. Back to the C. The strongest, most normal note. Now it's the F. Here comes to a G. G. Yeah. Okay, my turn. Changes. Back to C. You're anticipating in your solo. Back. All right. Now here's my turn now. Now I had a lesson with somebody yesterday who hadn't. This their first lesson. And they thought, as I thought when I was in my 20s, that every time the chord changes, you had to change your scale. Now, you might, but you don't necessarily by any means. Now, all of the notes, when it hits that last chord and it goes, well, that, you can tell that G, sorry, I'll get in here where I have less reverb, but that very last chord, bum, 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 that's using notes outside the key. The other notes can all be used in C minor. Now, for a guitar player, that's just a pattern. That's just a pattern. Let's say you are a sax, a trumpet, a flute player, clarinet player. It's just a scale. You know, the B flat instruments would be using not C minor, which is the notes. Let's go with Dorian minor. Dorian minor, for the C instruments would be the same notes as the B flat scale, 2 flats, and you have a sheet if you download it that says that. If you're a clarinet, a trumpet player, a tenor sax player, it would be D minor, which is for Dorian minor. It's just the C scale. Da 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 da. Listen, I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna use that scale. This is for me. It'll be the B flat scale. And let's turn it on. Here I'm going to play the C major scale. Concert B flat. Here it goes. And let me turn it on. Can you come on, please? Yep. Your turn. Come on, play for me. Comes the change. Not scale, emphasis. Back. Here's the 5 chord, pointing us to the beginning. Not there yet. And here it comes. Keep going. Try to anticipate those changes. And to be on a nice note that fits those changes. Here comes, going to go back again. We can call it the 4 chord, we call it the F chord, but it's the sound ba, and that's going to the fa. Okay, it's my turn again, and I want to say, so here's this song. It's got a lot of energy, got a lot of excitement. Now, you could play, it'd be really cool to play really fast, and let's just say you didn't feel comfortable playing really fast. So I'm going to take my turn now. I'm going to play few notes. I'm going to repeat them. I'll try to get rhythms in them to make it a little interesting without having to work as hard. That's not better or worse. You know, the world's greatest composers wrote songs that are some of them are really simple and very beautiful. So we're just trying to play. I'm just trying to talk in this mic. So get the volume right. Y'all can tell me if I'm not loud enough or too loud. Okay. But now I'm just going to play one time through with just few notes. Here it comes. Hiku, hiku. Your turn. Use a few notes. Repeat them. Try to use a few notes, repeat them, do dramatic things, but not a lot of emotion. Your turn. Keep going. Okay, now, whatever you want. Your turn. And it's my turn. You. Come on, play with it. I think you got one more time. One more time all the way through. Play concert A. Da. A. Da. B play instrument, B a B. Da, ba, da, 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 da. That'd be concert D. Da. Okay. Anticipate any changes? See how it ends. Forgot. Huh. Okay. Now I want to say, I know you are wondering what I thought. I thought that was so cool. What a cool sound. I'm very happy with that sound. So let's get back to this mic. Hello, Mike. Hello. Let's turn it down. Reverb down. Turn that sound up. There we go. Much better. So listen, I've said before, it's so great to get stuff that you're inspired by, excited by. And I wanted to tell y'all, I got a little time, maybe 10 minutes to practice or to play with this. And I had two comments. One was, we could do other minors. We could do harmonic minor. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. We could do that with a different minor scale, which would be C, D, E flat, F, G, A flat, B natural. We could do that. It would, it actually doesn't fit the style quite as well. The Dorian minor that we're using works pretty good. Ba da 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 with a raised sixth. And like I said, the blues and if you're trying to get that exotic sound that matches what this song, the chords. See, the chords are the thing that's kind of defining. You can add notes that are not reflected by the chords, but in general, you can, yes, do that. But in general, the chords are kind of giving us the parameters. They're kind of saying, this sounds great, this sounds unusual, this sounds boring or wrong. So we have to pay attention to the chords. And I guess I'm going to tell you that I wrote here to tell you this, that on the flute, get above the, not the high C, but the second ledger line C. And I all the time get just kind of confused on the what, not the fingerings, but what note is coming out, because you can play several notes on the same fingerings. And so I guess I'm telling that from a to be playing and not, I'm thinking it's an E and an A is coming out, stuff like that. So I guess I'm just, I'm not trying to be reality. I'm trying to be like, hey, we have to make things work and learn to get better. Okay, now we're going to go to the second song, and I'm going to play rock ukulele, and it's going to be fun. So the last time I played ukulele was just like a month. I'm talking about for this was like a month or 6 weeks ago, and just in doing it and recording it, hooking up, I realized, oh my gosh, I can do anything, whatever I can do with a guitar, I can do with the ukulele. This is my ukulele amplified. So this song is called "Slow Soul Wish," and you should you can have that. You have a link right now in this description that has that in it, and so having the chart up is helpful. It's not obligatory, as we've already said, but it's helpful because it kind of gives us, lets you see the changes and stuff. So let's take a look at this. Remember I said we want to listen to the song, we want to absorb the changes. Hey, Tom in Dallas with your sunglasses on. Put on your sunglasses, mama, and put your sunglasses on. No. So let's listen to this. Let me get this so that you can see this. You should have this. I shouldn't have that. I shouldn't have to be doing this, but it's okay. So I'm going to do that. I think you have the right term. Yes. Okay, so there we go. We want to listen to it first, and you're not going to have this because I'm going to play the ukulele, and I know you want to see my ukulele flying fingers to death on the ukulele. So, but let's listen to Slow Soul Wish, getting the vibe, because it's mostly in A minor, natural minor. Same notes as the C scale. You got to feel that groove. Listen to that F, making it pretty. Then it says, oh no, it's sad. Really, truly. Second line. Here's the D minor. Here's the prettiness. And it says we're gonna get out of it, but no, sad. Here we go. That sound cool? Yeah. Is it gonna be okay? And night? No. Here's where it steps out the key right here. 2 beats, back in. And here's 4 beats out of the key. You try to play. I just want to comment that the chords here, we're back at the top now. The chords here are demonstrative, exciting. They're not hard, and they're not like, oh, she's rocking out, but they're put together in such a way that creates a lot of drama and emotion. So that means you don't have to play as fast and do as many things. One of the hardest things to do, and of course it's in funk all the time, is whatever, 16 bars, 32 bars on one chord. That's really hard because the chords shifting, mean you don't have to do as much. And if it's just like one chord, it's like, oh no, you got to do it all, because there ain't no chord changing, there's no notes changing. So here we are with this song that does things. Again, I want to point it out. I think you can see it on your screen. Let's look on your screen. Yeah, you see my little cursor. So right here where that E is, we're in the key of A minor, which is the same notes as C. You should have this. So, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Pretty straightforward. There you go. Except for right here where we could do a bunch of things, but let's just look at it as A harmonic minor. Same notes, except the G is sharp. A, B, C, D, E, F, G sharp. Ba, ba, da, 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 da. And it covers this. And same thing here. Now here, we got 2 notes that are altered. We got Is that a sharp? Yeah, okay. Well, that's fine, cool. Because that sharp 9 is a G natural, which is in the key. So anyway, there's two little places, and you note them in your ear, and then you say, okay, what can I do? Well, you could just play the G sharp, including concert A sharp, for the B flat instruments. Or you could arpeggiate the chord, and like a guitarist, I don't know what the notes are. You just know your hand shape. Here's the hand shape for this sharp 9. Play the notes in, you go do that. It'll sound great. If it works as a chord, it works as as individual notes of the chord, as an arpeggio. Now here's my death ukulele, and all of the big like Sepultura, that's what they all started on, was ukulele, man. It's a big metal instrument. Wait a minute. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now, where is my distortion? Ah, I see where it is. Here it comes. That's right, death metal on the ukulele. Okay, now let's see. So there's this, and I wanted you to be able to see the ukulele, also known as the ukumumu. Well, let's see if I can do this real quick, which is pretty much how I do everything, real quick. Okay. Okay, so let's see. That's hilarious to me, as the I'm doing this on the ukulele, and it's going, hey, can I have a ukulele? There we go. Thank you. So at least see the thing. Okay, there we go. And this, and here. Whoa. I know y'all can't tell what's going on here. Gotta point that down. Oh, there's my hand. Here, I'll let you in on the secret. There we go. Huh, is that gonna work? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna start in the beginning. I'll go first, and here we go. I think it's like here. Your turn. Go. Ready to go. Feel the groove. Let me know about the balance. Too loud, too soft. the A minor. Just listening to it, like, here's the exciting, and I'll take it. Go. Comes the B section. Drop to an F. Yes. Does it again. Sad. Hey. Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah. Your turn. Should be the B section of F. There it is. Keep going. turn. Should be on the. Yeah. Okay, now what's coming up? The very next chord is the 4 chord. What's that going to sound like? Remember I was saying that we're going to get into, I want to learn how to improv. Well, you're in the right place, Ignacio. Yeah. Okay. So what we're doing is improvising. And what instrument, tell me what instrument you're playing. We're in the key of A minor. Depending on what instrument you're playing, A, B, C, D, it's literally A, B, C, D, F, G. So let me know what instrument you're playing or a pattern. So anyway, I see you, Ignacio. So that's good. This is what we're doing, is learning to improvise. So we're on the, what was that? Oh yeah. So here comes the 4 chord. Ba, in the relative majors. What does that sound? I said you need to get into the sound. Here's the sound, what it sounds like. Okay, cool. I'll come back to that in a second, Ignacio. So here we are. So that the next sound is coming up is ba. Check it out. Here it comes. I want you to hear it yourself. I'm not looking at the thing. I hear it. Here it goes. So you could not know any of those notes. I'm looking at the chart. I mean, it's here in front of me. You should have it in front of you. But it's the sound ba. First, it's going to go ba, ba, ba. Then it goes ba, ba, ba. And that is directing your solos. Okay. I kind of know the basics. Okay, cool. So, Ignacio, in the description here of this live stream, there's a link. It'll take you, it says, what does it say? It says, this song, yeah, it says right there, it says, in this link, there's a link to 8 different pieces of paper. And one of them says A minor and A natural minor. It says MTM, improvisation scales to improvise with, A minor and natural minor. And that shows you as a pattern, and I'm on the wrong instrument to show you here today, because this is just the top half of the guitar. So it would be, for you, it'd be on the 12th fret if you... right. But anyway, so take a look at that while we're talking. And so anyway, I was saying that, so you should be able to hear those sounds. So, okay, so I'm fixing to make this go again. So I want everybody ad-libbing. It's your turn to ad-lib, and I'm going to start it over just so we get going here. This should be starting on line 2. Line 2, go. Boom. There's the D minor. Listen to this S sharp major, how nice it sounds. But all these chords are only using notes of the C major scale. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. There's that F. Here's the D minor. Here comes this, the sadness, sad. It didn't work out. Sad. Myself. Now, believe it or not, it sounds like I'm lying, but I did play a lot of wrong notes just now. I wanted to use it to make a comment about 2 things. Number one is, if you play a wrong note, you keep on going. All the time watching great players, and when the great players are playing, they'll make mistakes, and they don't bat an eye. They don't do anything. And that's exactly how you learn to play great. And of course, you practice and you get where you play less and less wrong notes, but you just ignore the mistakes when you're performing. Only when you're performing. If you're not performing, then you fix the mistake. But you got to learn how to just ignore the mistakes. So I'm saying if you ignore the mistake, and I say this a million times, I'll be saying it a million times more. I want you to show you. I'm gonna play wrong notes. First, if you ignore them, everybody forgets them. But then if you play the wrong note, the right note on every instrument is only 1/2 step up or down. It does not matter if you go up or down. If I play the wrong note, the right note is only a right note is only 1 fret or 1/2 step up or down. It doesn't matter which way I go. It's got to be. There's only, in a key, there's 7 good sounds. There's only 12 sounds. 7 of them are good sounds. 5 of them are bad sounds, relatively speaking. And if you play one of the bad sounds, one of the good sounds is only 1 fret up or down or 1/2 step up or down. So let's listen to this. I'm just going to play some wrong notes intentionally and stop on them. Let me do it again. Wrong note. This time I'll go down. Yes, exactly. Let me interrupt and say, so Seb says playing wrong notes is fun. How are you going to fix it? And in the first place, a lot of times what you need to do is ignore it. And then if you're sitting there going, oh, slide up like that. Your turn. Go. That's the F chord. There's the D minor. Keep going. Keep going, your turn. Here comes the B section. We got F chord, F chord. Ah, rats. Sorry, we're at the top. Okay, Shirley's gonna be this time. Okay, now the F chord. The B section. Play. Play long notes. Try that. Your turn. Come on. I'm going to get you through the B section one more time. There it is. Okay, and I'm going to stop it right there. Okay, wasn't that a great sound? Okay, Ignacio, that's exactly right. Those, and then anybody else who's listening, and in the description is links to basically a chart for each song. Now the chart, and we've said this before, the chart is less important. It's very important if you're reading all the time and need to read. I don't mean reading is wrong. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying what most people do, including most bands, have a book. You know, like we know these 30 songs, and they're doing those songs. It's taking them months to do this. They're reading right at first, but then they are soon becoming. Do I happen to know anything about? I just know the name. Ignacio. That's all. That's all I know. So I know that's not much help, but so what was I saying? I was saying something great. It was amazing. What was it? Oh well, what it was something good. I don't know. Oh, about reading. I was just saying that. So I'm just saying, if we had to pick one thing, then you're hearing, you're listening, and you're noticing the changes. Even just, I noticed I played a wrong note, or you notice that I can't play that fast. You know. So what am I going to do? I'm going to practice and try to get where I can play faster, but at the same time, let me, when I'm performing, and we're talking about improvising, let me back down on the speed a tad, so what I play sounds very solid. So I go, thank you, Ignacio. So you're saying I'm playing this, and I can't play fast. So I play what I play, and I'm trying to imagine, what would somebody's great play if they weren't playing fast? Well, they would hit those notes, they'd accentuate them, and they'd play them up high, and they would go, and that's just 6 notes total, repeated a lot, but they'd be like, hey man, these are what I'm doing is doing it definitively. And that if you looked at the rhythm values, we'd have notes that last 4 beats and 2 beats and 1 beat and half a beat and a quarter beat and a 16th, eighth of a beat, and we'd have all kind of triplet versions. So I'm saying what we can do if we can't play fast is, instead of playing eighth notes and 16ths and 16th triplets and 32nd notes, we can back that down and say, well, I'm gonna play quarter notes and eighth notes and 16th notes and play and you don't have to know what those notes mean. It just means that, so I'm going to, instead of going, so I can either go, ba, ba, imagine our song, going up, ba, da, da, do, do, do. If I did that, and my name was Eric Clapton or something, everybody should go, whoa, he's so amazing. He just, slow hand, man. Da, 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 do, 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 we do, do. Everybody be like, yeah. And I want to pick it up. Da, 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 dee, da, do, 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 do. Da, 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 dee, da, do, ah. So I'm just pointing out is that, if we looked at the whole body of, me over 20 years, do I ever play fast? I hope so, but in the moment, I can adjust what I'm doing to fit what I can do. And unless somebody's listening to, my last 7 albums, which I do not have, but I'm saying if they do, that's it. That's, if they're listening to me right now, play 2 or 3 or 4 songs, they don't, it's unknown if I can play really fast or slow. What we're getting is what that dude is playing is really solid. Okay, so we're done. Thank you guys for these comments. We're not done. We're not done. We're just moving to a different topic. So that was our improvisation, and there are, just by the way, there are 44 of these. Each one is a different 2 songs. So improvising, and so now we're going to the Q&A part of our, which is called to play and sing. So we're on the Q&A part of this live stream, and so if you got questions, shoot your questions to me right now. Ignacio, you used your, no, you haven't. You can ask as many questions. Anybody can ask questions, and so if you have questions, ask them now. Put them in the comments, or what, a chat thing, whatever this thing is. Put them in this chat thing down here, and I'm looking for questions, and I've got a question over here, and there it was. So, okay, this is an instrument-specific question, which is just fine. It's about the guitar. So if you're a guitar player, I'm going to answer this question. What is perfect finger placement? There's actually a couple of different dimensions of this question. I'm going to use this lovely ukulele right here, which I've unplugged from the thing for some reason. So anyway, perfect finger placement on any of the fretted instruments, let's see, yes, I'll switch back to this picture, is that I am just behind the fret. Now, I want you to notice, if you are somebody plays with a fingerboard, a fretboard, that it looks like I'm on top of the fret. But the reason I am not is because not my fingers, all of our fingers are curved. There's a curve to the finger. And so if the fret, and I'm sorry, this is so out. Here we go. Just have to change that. Look, there I am. If this is the fret here, the curve of my finger to be right, let's say my fingernail is where I want to be. So the curve of my finger will make it look like my finger's on top of that, when actually it's just a millimeter, maybe for us Americans, it'd be, I'm gonna say a 32nd of an inch smaller than a millimeter. So first off, your perfect finger placement for every chord. Don't worry, I'm not going to get off there for too long. But anyway, it's for every finger to be right there. Now, what I want to comment on, all of you guitar players, bass players, mandolin players, bouzouki players, whatever, that none of your, if I take my hand, I'm trying to not think about where my fingers are and just put them on here for that same chord. Now, this is what's natural, and that means that this finger is too far back. This just happens to be, these two are exactly right. But normally, a couple of your fingers are going to be too far apart or too close together. You have to learn to place them. See, I'm learned to get this finger up higher than it goes. So anyway, the ideal place to put your fingers is where you can just, with the least, what we're going for is the least pressure. We want the least amount of strength to make that note. So I want you, I'm hardly pressing at all, but because my finger is right here, just on top of the fret, it's easy. Now I'm gonna back up. That's making a good sound. Now I'm back up. I didn't quit pushing. Only thing I'm doing is bring it up. So you want to train yourself when you're playing a pattern, where you get your fingers like this. And again, I'm stressing, it's not natural. This placement is not natural. What's natural for me is this. This is far back, this is way back, this is not even gonna play the right note. So I have to learn to do them like that. And you have to do that. And if you do that, what we're trying to do is get to where you can play the least strength and get the clean sound. So, and there's 4 common mistakes with that. But anyway, that's the good. So there's that question. I don't see any other questions here. I got one more question. And here's my, okay. Practice expectations versus normal life. You're expecting, now look, if you want to be great or good, you're going to have to practice. And we talked here a lot about organics, and that is people who play well naturally for different, coffee everywhere. They play well naturally because they have great ears, they have great fingers, they So many people, and I'm not. This sounds like I'm not cutting them. This I'm completely hooray. Wish I was one of them. Their parents were professional musicians. They started taking lessons. I'm not kidding. When they were 5, they started playing. Plenty of people started playing for money when they were 10. Uh, uh, and I'm saying the process of learning to play is not. It was absorbed without a lot of effort, or maybe we could say without as much many false steps and things like that. So anyway, the point is those people are kind of defining everybody's expectations. They're not trying to. They're just like, well, look at the guy, man. And so then you get in there and you're like, hey, I don't sound like that. And your teacher says, you got to practice. And you're like, oh, I don't want to practice. Just like going to the gym. I want to look like, I don't know, Arnold. That's how old I am. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who I think of, whoever's the current Arnold Schwarzenegger. I want to look at this amazing buff super dude, Rich Froning, and you have to exercise to do that. It's like, oh, I don't want to do that. So we have this expectation of doing well without. And I would say paying the price. It's more that it's going to take some practice, and there's a lot of different things we can do to get that. And one is just dog it out and practice it. But another thing is to figure out times that you can practice, getting in, 10 minutes of practice here, 20 minutes of practice here, assigning a time like right before before mom makes, supper, I'm going to go practice for 20 minutes this is probably not a good time. 30 minutes before I go to bed, I'm going to go to bed at 11:30. At 11, I'm going to go practice my songs. So I'm just really what the question is: practice expectations versus normal life, and just saying you are probably not going to be able to. Most people are not going to be able to practice like you should. Like I know I should. I should practice. Well, I have a lot of instruments, so I should. I'm not kidding. I should practice 10 hours a day. And I actually have done that at different times, but normally not able to do that. So that's an expectation. Oh, you got to practice. Let's say you're doing one instrument. I should really practice. I'm going to go ahead and say it out loud. 2 hours a day, and it's like I should practice 2 hours a day on the guitar, or I should practice 2 hours a day on the sax. But then real life comes in, and I have to make a living, and I have to. Quite seriously, have a leak, and I got to call the plumber, and I got, one of my kids is having problems, and so it's like things I have to do, and I can't do those things. So how do we manage those? And the primary thing, though, is it may seem very, very childish, but it is do not get discouraged and do not give up. Do not give up, because I know many professional musicians and also many good musicians, and only a very, very few practice like we think. Okay, they practice 3 hours a day, and the two primary ones I'm thinking of, one's wife is a doctor, the other one's wife is a lawyer, so well, of course they can do that, because they're not having to, suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, but I'm telling you is that get in there, hang in there, do not give up, and find little grab some time here and some time there. You can practice more on Sunday or on the weekend, so hunt around for that time. Okay, so and you can ask me questions about that. So the last thing is, okay, I read this. I don't know how to set this up. This is my last question. There's nothing I like better than the sound of a banjo. There's nothing I like better than the sound of a banjo. Unless, of course, it's the sound of a chicken caught in a vacuum cleaner, which is better than the banjo. So there's nothing I like better than the sound of a banjo, unless, of course, it's the sound of a chicken caught in a vacuum cleaner. I would like to add that as I conclude that the banjo was the first instrument I officially tried to learn to play when I was 9. It was way too big for me, so I didn't learn it. So, okay, so I don't see any questions down here that I haven't already answered, and I'm fixing this. So we're done. This is Mark Black. This is Mark Teaches Music, and what we just had was our improv workshop, which will be here on these two really cool songs, one in A minor, one in C minor, and the links with the keys and the scales and stuff for this, the tracks are in the description, and I want you to look at them, have fun. So like I said, hit like, hit subscribe, hit notifications, whatever that is, and something else you need to do good. What do you need to do? You need to share this with people, and you need to be here. Next week we'll be here at the same time, Tuesday at 7:45, improvising on different songs. And oh yeah, and if you send me your email, I'll send you one of those tracks. Tell me one of the tracks you want. I'll send you a link to one of them, and you can have it and use it. And let's see what else. So that's it. So as always, I want you to, until I see you again, I want you to have fun, and I want you to be awesome.